Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Full Quota Podcast. My name is Mpho and I've got Tim Delace here with me. I'm in London. Tim's in Cape Town. Tim has the sun come out in Cape Town because I'm looking outside my window and the clouds are coming in.
Yes, the sun is out. The sun is out. But I'm a bit chilly yet. But I said when we were gonna win it because we are gonna win it. People, we can relax. We are gonna go over the line. I said I would wear the Proteas test shirt. I'm wearing the Proteas test shirt. There it is. My pessimism meter has broken.
Good to have you on my side. I'm on the fence on some. So I'm being reminded. Everyone that I've left Lords with, some of the members who we've met. I met a member who's an Australian, was reminding me of the West Indies in 1994, where we needed, I think, similar 80 to win, and we lost 8 wickets for 30 runs. And so everyone's reminding us of all of that to tell us that we're not there yet. And look, the Australian spirit has not broken. But before we talk about that, remember, you can follow us at Full Quota Pod on X. Subscribe to the Full Quota Podcast on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you have, thank you. If you haven't, why haven't you done it? Also, this podcast will be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And also, you can also help support the podcast by helping buy some coffee at buymeacoffee.com/full quota podcast. What a day. We thank the Lord for the sun. We thank the Lord for the sun breaking down. I'll never trust English conditions again, because what type of surfaces are these where the ball does nothing, doesn't help you for anything, anyway. But anyway, so let's start with that morning session. Yesterday we left and said we needed to get these 2 quick wickets. We needed to make sure that we have them in the hut, not having them bat for long. And then somehow Mitchell Stark turned into prime Bradman, and he was just pasting Kagiso and Lungi and Marco all over the park, even fishing for the strike and making sure that he got all the balls. And he lost it for until lunch and scored a beautiful 50. And that second wicket finally fell him on the stroke of lunch, and South Africa were left at 282. That first session, Tim, I do apologize, my voice seemingly is going. That first session was the most frustrating session I've ever had to endure as a Proteas fan, because you have them in this position, they are scared, and you're giving them what they want. And you had no idea of what you wanted to do, whether you wanted to take wickets, whether you wanted to save runs. I kind of felt Timber was in between, having a guy on the point boundary and having a guy deep at deep backward square. I just sat there going, but they're not going to do anything. Bring them in, and nothing happened. And it took us 2 hours to get these 2 wickets. Tim, was that also frustrating for you?
It was. I will go back to Cummins's press conference yesterday, and I know he was sort of being on the positive side of things, and you have to at a press conference, but he did kind of say, we feel if we get it right with the ball, we're okay with this total. Yes, we would like a bit more, but we're okay with 220. It's something to bowl at if we get it right. It was so frustrating, dude. I might be 10,000 miles away and not have the same atmosphere with the tension, which I'm sure was there for Lords, for the majority of South African fans, but it was awful. It was so frustrating because they were in no trouble at all. Outside the first 20 minutes when we got line, they thought you know what? We got line early. It's done. We're gonna squiddle them over. The intensity went. The lines and lengths went. We went to the short ball, the typical South African thing. Go to the short ball. On that wicket was just madness. You know, we bowled 4 short balls in an over instead of 1. We bowled 4 or 5 in an over. It became
Mm.
a game plan, um, which was just it really really frustrating. When they got to 280, I just thought I said exactly what I said yesterday. I said I know what they're going to say about the pitch. I know they were going to say about at the innings break, but 280 on this pitch with
Mm.
the weight that's on our shoulders, I thought it was going to be very, very difficult. I definitely had Australia favourites at that point. Not massively, but I definitely thought things have swayed way more than in
Yeah,
Australia's favour than I was hoping for.
I thought the game was gone. I thought 282 was a very long way to go. With the way this pitch was playing and the way Australia were bowling, I thought we could have given them. We could have given them. What is this? We could have given them. They could have given us problems, and we could have lost wickets in intervals. It wasn't going to be as bad, but I thought maybe we'd get bowled out for like 220, 240, and that's how we lose this game. But after lunch, the great conditions happened, and we realized that actually the ball wasn't moving that much. The bowling conditions were very flat, even with the new ball. It wasn't beating the bat that often, which was a surprise. And I thought maybe it was a tactic for the Australians to get everyone to play, but it was positive. First ball of the innings, a run, and Ricks and Aiden were looking to rotate the strike. It was like they had listened to Shukri after day one, and they realized that the only way they were going to get through this was to be positive, and positive they were. I felt Ricks was a little unlucky because I thought he should have put that ball to the boundary. It was a bad ball from Stark, wide and full. Not necessarily a wicket taking ball. Like if you asked Mitchell, he would be like, I wasn't expecting to take a wicket with that ball. And you kind of felt he gave them an opening. What did you make of Ricks's little? Was it 9 runs?
Yeah, look, I was in. We're talking about the pessimism meter. I was in pessimism mode. I was thinking, okay, that's it. All right, yeah. Thanks for giving us a chance. We've enjoyed the test match. It's been a fantastic test match. We've had our chances. We haven't taken them. And you know what? When the bell tolls, this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna skittle us, aren't they? We're gonna be 30 for 4 and scrambling to make anything close to their total. And I say that even though I could see that there was less swing and less movement, and Stark wasn't quite at the races. Stark wasn't. It was almost as if his 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 um his head had been telling him, mate, you've just been batting for 2 hours. Take a rest. Take a rest and get some energy into your lungs. You need to energize.
Mm.
So he seemed to be not quite at the races, but I did think it was going to be a tumble. And then when Timber urges it to Smith, I'm thinking, yeah, this is what I expected. Yeah, this is it. Yep. And it's going to be Steve Smith. Steve Smith's going to take the catch. Of course he's going to take the catch. Of course he is. And then they're going to be crowing and giving us hell for the next 2 or 3 hours. However I was. And you know what? I don't mind being wrong. I do not mind being wrong 1 iota. Happy to be wrong.
Yeah. Look, yeah.
Yeah.
NY Times Square saying has been screaming first full boundary, and the Proteas winning at least. He hit the first over. It was chilled the whole match after that boundary. Well, we'll get to Aiden, but like I look at all the others. I look at Vian. I thought Vian actually availed himself really well. In
We're just gonna try and get Mpho back. We can see his visuals, but he's struggling with the internet. He's been struggling with it for some time over there. Very strange.
Can
First
you
world
guys hear
country,
me?
third world internet. I can hear you.
Yeah. Look, it means I have to leave and come back every so often. But I don't want to talk about what is it? Who was it? I'll talk about Aiden later. But Vian, what an innings! I love that 50-run partnership with him, or 60 runs. I thought it set the tone for the rest of the batters. It eased everyone in the dressing room, and it kind of showed everyone that it is possible to bat. I think the experiment at three worked. For the runs we got for Vian at that position in a crucial chase, I thought he did really well. And the thing for me yesterday, trying to figure out how to get to 282, was partnerships, and that partnership set the tone, and I liked it. They were positive. They didn't go back into their shells. The ball wasn't doing much. We get that, but they capitalized, right. And it was a point where Australia was bowling for mistakes, and we didn't make any mistakes yesterday, right. And then obviously Timber coming in. Oh man, those two. But that partnership was great. But a little word on Vian, because I know a lot of people are wanting him not to bat at three, and do you want to try him at three, or do you want him to go back to six?
Look, it has to be said that there was very little movement yesterday, and it was easily the best day if the test match to be batting. But I like the fact that he wasn't chasing deliveries. Vian in his test career, when he has batted, he has been chasing deliveries so often, either chasing or finding himself stuck on the crease, absolutely plumb. This was easily the best I've seen him in a Proteas um, from a batting perspective. Easily. He waited for the deliveries. He saw that the pitch was slow and you needed to wait for the ball to come to you and not go and find it. Otherwise,
Mm,
you're going to find yourself in trouble. Um, which is what he did for his dismissal. He went
mhm,
he went looking for the ball, got ahead of himself, and that's why he got out. Um, but it was crucial. You're absolutely right. It was crucial because A, it made the ball a little bit older. B, it showed the rest of the batting order if they were needed. It's not a demon out here. There aren't demons out here. It's not that difficult. You just need to conserve your energy and 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 bat within yourself, and the runs will come on a pitch like that where there's less movement. Going
mm,
forward, I still want Tristan at three. If you ask me, I still want Tristan at three. I get. It makes sense for this test match, 100%. I 100% get you wanted that batting order to last as long as possible, as many runs down the lower order. But for me going forward, I still want Tristan at three. It will be
mm.
interesting to see which way he goes. There are no test matches after Zimbabwe for us, so there's a lot of time to think in what way Shuki wants to go. But for me,
No.
I'd still go Tristan long term.
Tim, the new kings of cricket will need test matches. We need to find a way to play more tests. The country needs to see the boys in white. Um, like right now, I'm even thinking we might need to go to Zimbabwe for all I care, because Zimbabwe is going to get the pleasure of playing the newly crowned World Test champions. Now that's something. Um, yeah, Aiden and Timber. I'll start with Aiden. If there ever was a time, and I know I'm very critical of him, and all the fans will know that I'm very, very critical of him, because I think he was the son who was promised and never delivered. Well, after yesterday, he by sure delivered. He's done something I think no other South African has done. Score 100 in a World Cup final, and potentially be the guy who gets us over the line. So that was probably one of the best innings I have ever seen him play. He played some incredible shots, including that back foot punch through cover, that in and out. That was just unbelievable. But it started with that straight drive. Once you saw that his straight drive was straight driving and was going straight, you kind of felt, okay, no, he's in. He's got this. And he didn't give the Australians any chance. He was meticulous. He was focused. It's like he thought, this is it. It was like, I know on one of our groups, I think one of our friends, Wahid, also a former member of this podcast, mentioned Graham Smith in 2008 at Edgbaston when we needed 280 to win in the final day, in the final innings, and he said to the boys, "I'll get half. I just need people to come and help me, come along with me." And it kind of felt like it was that type of an innings where Aiden was like, "It's on me. I just need people to come around me." And beautiful, beautiful innings. Really, really awesome. And today is the last day. I will call him pretty privileged. So Aiden Markram, well done, golden boy. You did something that we've wanted from you for a very long time. Do something in a big moment, and I hope you do more when it comes to 2026 T20 World Cup and 2027 Cricket World Cup, as well as the 2027 World Test Championship. And we hope we don't get this up and down from you anymore, but we want more of this. You are our superstar, right? You come as advertised. You are the people, you're the player that most teams should be fearing. And they weren't fearing you because there were a couple of cover drives, and I sat there going, oh no, he might just hit one straight down to cover's throat. And Australia were like, we're taking our third slip, we're putting someone at extra cover, and he didn't. Vian did. Timber did the day before, but not you, Aiden. What a beautiful century and great way to get it just before the close of play. We don't want that little thing hanging over your head. Today, we're going to come back and we're going to try to win this thing. But yeah, Aiden was unbelievable. It was, yeah, look, I'm happy. So one time, I am happy to be very wrong. I do this to be
Yeah,
wrong, but this is the one thing I'm happy to be wrong about.
yeah. I said it on the socials on our socials that we'll be making a few apologies, and look, I have absolutely no problem doing that. Absolutely no problem. I got off the Aiden train a lot later than you. I got off it about 18 months ago, 12 months ago. I saw talent, and I just said, he's just not going to reach those levels. And I accepted it. I just said, you know what? He's not going to average 50 with a bat, which is what I was expecting when he first came into the side. I thought 45 to 50 is where his level is at in terms of his talent. Um, and look, they are. I think that from a wider reasons, that's no longer going to be the case. The way the game is going in general, the way that they play Test cricket nowadays is very different. So it's much harder to be averaging 50 than it
Mm.
was 20 years ago. Um, but Aiden was Aiden. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I'm back on the train. I paid double. I paid double the fee to get back on the train. Um, and I just hope you're happy to have me because that was special. That was absolutely magnificent. I looked into this. I looked into the numbers, and the boys made 300s, three of his 700s against Australia.
Oh no,
Two of
he loves
those
playing Australia.
Two of those were against this exact attack, exact four pronged attack. You know, world class, world beating, World Cup winning. You know, genuine quality. When it matters, he does tend to perform. When his place at the side is in jeopardy, when there's something on the line, like yesterday, he does tend to perform. I've got to give huge credit for him. That is, for all the reasons that we've explained, that is the most important 100 of his Test career. It was absolutely outstanding. So, Aiden, well done. It was a joy to watch, and I'm just glad to be back on the Aiden train.
Well, I don't think they'll let me on, but I'll keep asking. But yeah, look, Aiden, my word, well done. Wow. And yeah, look, yeah. I said we needed someone to put up their hand. I didn't want to name names, but for in future, I'm going to be naming you in the names of the people who need to step up for us because you've shown us now that you can do it on the grandest of stages, and we want more of this. This is how South Africa wins more trophies. You need to be the guy leading us there. It's a similar mentality. And the great thing about I said about this test match was this team's gonna learn how to win this game. If we're gonna win it, they're gonna have to go through the pains. They're gonna have to go through because it's the feelings that you get now that will make you a better cricketer because you'll always fall back on these moments. And now that he's done it, oh, I don't mind. I think we might see him go on a run. Like I honestly do think that I think he's got it in him to go on a tear this year. Yes, we don't play a lot of test matches, but even in the white ball stuff, I think the runs are there to be had, and I think he could be the catalyst for something to happen in 26 and 27. Um, and also he's been playing well at the IPL. Like he's been really good. Like he's really stepped up, and I'm glad that he didn't leave Lords with, some with a bad thing. Because I think if we lost, we'd be looking to him. But that's the burden of being the guy on the team, and I think he's always wanted that burden. I think now we can see that he's taken it up and he stepped it up. It's taken a long time, and Tim, this is why I don't want youngsters in the team too soon. But now Aiden's like in his own. And you said it was 18 months ago, but wow, what an innings yesterday. But he was supported by my favorite player, the guy who actually gave me this T-shirt, Tim Bavuma. I was crying yesterday when he got that 50 while he was busy hobbling up and down. I'm even crying now. And like, I don't like. There's only a handful of players in this World Test Championship cycle who have an average of 50, and he is one of them. I think there might be three. And again, does not want to give the Australians a door. They could have gotten him. Steve Smith dropped the World Cup. He dropped the World Test Championship. I don't know what he was doing with the helmet on at first slip. I know he was a little bit further forward because you could see it, but does it warrant a helmet? And then he goes and dislocates his thumb, and I'm sorry for that. And he dropped Timber, and maybe those are the things we'll look at. Be like, if he caught that, we're done. And as NY Times Square says, Bavuma averages 64, which is the highest in the cycle. That's our captain, guys. That's the guy. People don't like him. I don't know why. People always will say all of these things. This man's a batter. This man's a smart cricketer. And even with that hamstring, right? And what I'll tell you, Tim, is at T, and you saw with Astro Prince's thing about the hamstring, they were arguing as to whether you rest Timber, fix the hamstring, and bring him back later because they weren't worried that it was going to affect Aiden's rhythm. And Aiden said, no, we'll do this with Timber hobbling. And they did this for 3 more hours. They just kept on poking and prodding. And with every run falling, you just got the chance of Timber Bavuma coming through. And it was it was magical. It was truly magical. They brought on Nathan Lyon. Timber said, say less. I got you. Um, and it was phenomenal. We needed a captain's knock, Tim. Probably the best captain's knock you could ever get.
With everything on the line, it was amazing. Everything on the line. These innings are iconic. There are several batsmen throughout the years that have batted with broken hands, thumbs, hamstring problems, batted on one leg. There are several like this. This will be remembered as his best. This will be remembered as his best, in my opinion. I don't think he will pick this for the reasons that we've explained. For what's on the line, for what we are about to win, for what it would mean for the country. This is the most important, and it will be the most iconic of his career. This surpasses his debut 100. This surpasses all the other hundreds that he's made in this particular format. All the quality innings that he's played. Um, this was special. And look, they're always going to be haters. They're always going to be haters. What I would say to those haters is focus on what you heard in the crowd. Focus on what you heard in the crowd. What did you hear at the crowd in London? You heard people singing his name hour after hour after hour after
And
hour.
afterwards,
They are people in England that are absolutely behind him, 100%. South African people. They're
not only South
always going to be
African
haters.
people, even
They're
Australian
not.
people.
Oh my goodness.
So I think
And,
I think I think I think I think Tim, sorry, just I think it's this thing because
yeah,
I'm a black man. So yesterday I was walking around in my protest shirt after the game. Everybody comes up to me and around the stadium will be like, "Oh, Temba Bavuma," and in my head I'm like, "Is it because I'm black? Do they think I'm his brother? I don't know. I can be Temba's brother." Um, but even at like 9 p.m., walking back to the hotel, same thing. And it's going to happen again today. It's the chant of this World Test Championship final. It's either O Kagiso Rabada or Temba Bavuma. And Temba, oh man, Tim, they love him. They really love him in that stadium. I just don't know if we're going to get 100 from him today. I hope we do, because that would be even more fantastic. But you never know. But like as Lorenzo says, right, the two guys who get criticized the most at the crease, taking us home. Now that's leadership, Skipper and his deputy. 100%, 100%, Lorenzo. I look. The thing that Timber said was, it's for all the marbles. I'm not giving them a sniff. And I'm happy that he didn't, because had he gone off, it would have given Australia an opportunity, because this is what Australia are trying to do as the sun comes out. Yes, Lord. Sun come out. Yes. This is what Australia are trying to do. They're trying to fashion a mistake. They're hoping for something. They've got nothing. They're bowling for a run out. They are trying to do. I'm surprised they haven't gone to their antics. The little, I'm gonna drop the ball on your head. The little, we're gonna try start sledging you. It's been very prim and proper. I don't know when. I thought Australia by the time we got to about 150, they start being niggly, but they're in their own fields. Or maybe it's because it's
yeah,
South
look,
Africa, they don't
yeah,
want to do anything stupid. But they are literally searching for an opening. And had Timber left, that was their opening. That was the
yeah.
opening that they needed. But he hung around, and they thought, and I think they got reinvigorated by the fact that he had the hamstring, and he just killed them. He killed them dead. And yeah, it's a testament to him, to Shukri, to Astral Prince, to Aiden, because Aiden was very key in the decision for Temba to continue. Aiden was like, let's try do this. And look at where they are now. Look at where they are now. I don't know how many hundred It's like over 100 run partnership, like 130 run partnership, and it's the two guys who we need, our two leaders, vice captain and captain, and it's showing.
Dude, and not only that, the most experience. I said experience counts. I just didn't think it necessarily come from South Africa. Um, absolutely, absolutely. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, look, they deserve this. They deserve this. As Lorenzo said, the criticism that they've got either in print or on social media, this is them saying, you know what, I hear you, but I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, and I'm not. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
Mm.
You may want us to go, but we're not going anywhere.
I'm thinking for the ODI side, since obviously Shukri said Aiden's opening, Aiden and Timber opening in the ODI team. Does that excite you a little bit more?
I'm very relaxed about that. I'm very relaxed. I'm not. Uh, I don't have a fixed. I don't have
Mm.
a fixed batting order in my mind when it comes to the white ball.
Oh,
When
okay.
we will discuss that, I don't doesn't
Okay.
have. My focus is this
So
game. My focus is today.
So, NY Times Square says Timber must leave white ball. No, not the 50 overs, guys. I'm still fighting on that one. Yes, T20, but not this. But anyway, today, South Africa still needs 69. It's not over yet. My target in my head is 60. I thought at 60 runs needed, Australia are going to be like, it's over, right? But Australia have played in test matches where it's gone down to the wire. Most of the times, they're on the right side. As I said earlier in the podcast, 1994, we were playing the West Indies. I think we needed, what is it, 80 to win. We got bowled out or we got bowled out for. We lost 8 wickets for 30 runs, and the game was done. One of the key things for the Proteas to get through today, even though for the fans, for all of us watching, you and I, if any of the Proteas are watching, this does not apply to you. This is a coronation. We are celebrating. There's a new king in town, and we are the new kings in cricket. My Wi-Fi goes a little wonky, but every single run must be celebrated. I hope you have your champagnes at home. Pop them. Drink whatever you need to be drinking. Every single, even if it's coffee because it's cold in South Africa, even every single run must be celebrated. We are the new kings of cricket. This is a celebration for all those years, 33 years of heartache, of getting there but not getting over the line, of Kijimas, Adlords, of I need you to run, and Alan Donald's like, I don't understand Zulu, of We Can't Count in 2003, of Duckworth Lewis in 1991, of getting blown away by the Australians in 2007, of someone of the team in turmoil in 2011 beating India but not being able to get over the line, and then Graham going to get married because he doesn't want to face the smoke, of that horrible heartbreak for most of you in 2015 with that final over, and Grant Elliott taking it away from us, right? Of what happened in 2019 when everyone was asking, where the hell is AB? And all we could say is, we don't need him. And technically we did. Of what happened in Abu Dhabi during the COVID World Cups in those semi-finals, and what happened in Barbados last year. That heartbreak in Barbados last year, getting to 30 for 30 and not being able to get over the line. We had to come back to the home of cricket to sacrifice our demons, to exorcise our demons, to do this. So for every South African who's felt heartbreak over the last 33 years, this moment's for you. These 69 runs are, and then we're being reminded about Adelaide in 22 against the Netherlands. All those heartbreaks. If the Proteas have hurt you, this one's for you. This one is for you. Grab your best drink. If we've got a couple of hours before the day starts, go and get something and celebrate. The parade's happening next week. Don't worry. We've got that covered. CSA is planning that. What I need from you is for every run, we cheer them on, we take them home. We might lose a couple of wickets and hold on, but today is for you, the South African fans, nobody else. Today is the day we crown ourselves the kings of cricket. And we call ourselves the kings of cricket. Why? Because the test match, the test is the ultimate form of cricket. And if we're the kings of the ultimate form of cricket, we don't care about colored clothing cricket. We don't care about World Cups. Yes, we want to win those. But this is it. This is when we get that lollipop or the mace. Oh, guys, it's a party. And I hope your Saturdays go long and wild, but this is it for us. This is it for us. Tim, can Australia find a way in?
Yeah, of course, of course they could. But if they did, let me put it there. If they did, it would top all of those other failures. It genuinely would. If you take everything into consideration, it would even top 99 for me. It would be the most catastrophic down for the side that the side may never actually recover from. I genuinely believe that this side, it would then create the wounds that all of those players started with at 99 and had for the next 10 years. It could reach those levels. I just don't see it happening. I see us losing wickets, sure. I don't think Aiden and Tim are going to be there at the end of the day that we get over the line. I don't think that's going to be happen. What tends to happen in
Knowing
these
Timber, I think he
sorts of
will be.
games? What tends to happen in these games? Well, we'll see. What tends to happen in these games is this realization that from one of these batters is they've won, and it's just a slight drop off in concentration, and that's all it takes. A slight drop in concentration. You push the ball too hard, catch it covered by minus. It's. I don't think we're going to be too down. But let's see. There was something I wanted to add, but I've forgotten now. I hope that parade is not just in Joburg. That's all I'm saying. If it's just in Joburg, I'm going to be absolutely fuming.
Okay. I will tell the CSA people. I think we'll have to go around the country. They've done something incredible. I can't believe we're so close to getting the test mace. Hopefully by lunch we'll be celebrating. But from the boys' perspective, the Proteas camp, they did say that Shukri, as they walked in, as Tim and Aiden walked in and getting all the claps, Shukri was like, nothing changes. We're back again tomorrow. We sleep like we've normally done. Nothing changes. And it's not over yet. We will win this test match when we'll win this. That is the message coming out of the Proteas camp. We'll win this when we win this. It's not done yet. But for you and I, enjoy the ride. Enjoy it. Enjoy it against Australia. Just enjoy it. And that was the crowd yesterday. They got into it as the runs kept on going. The optimism kept on increasing. The beers kept on flowing. Guys were singing the national anthem. Guys were singing Temba Bavuma. Guys were singing Aiden's praises. It was a party. And we're going to continue the party today. I think some guys kept on drinking the whole night because you don't want to lose this feeling. You don't want to lose this emotion. This is probably one of the best feelings ever as a South African cricketer. All that heartbreak, all that drama, all of this was worth it for this one. Just for this one. And yes, Graham has won the test match before, but it was never in a tournament format. And this is beautiful. It is unbelievable. And I hope Timber does hit the winning runs. And I hope the winning runs are Timber getting a century at Lords. Because I think that's the only thing I'm hoping for. I don't think he might get there, but this knock, I just want this Timber knock to be remembered somewhere. If it's at Lords on a board, it'll be remembered, but we don't want it to be forgotten that his knock, that 65 that he's on right now, was also as important as what Aiden did, and even more because he was on a hamstring, he was on one leg. So, what better way to remember it than get on the honors board?
I genuinely think it will be remembered for that exact reason. People who are interested in Test cricket, people who are the purists, people who love the game, there are going to be millions of people that will remember this. And when they do, most important test knocks by the Proteas batsmen in 10 years' time, Timbers will be in the top 10. I cannot see that not being the case. Timber will be in somewhere within that list of top 10 where ESPN Cricinfo write that article in 10 years' time. Because of the injury. The injury elevates it right up there with the others, with Graham Smith's broken finger, and etc., etc., etc. It will be remembered. It will be remembered. That's the important thing. People must try to just. I know it's difficult. Try to just ignore what's happening on social media in some quarters. Just ignore it because it's nonsense. It's it's nonsense. This is he's the best batter, best Proteas batter in this test cycle by a mile, and without his leadership, whether it is on the pitch or off the pitch, created that unity, we are not sitting here on the verge of winning it. That's just factually true. If you don't believe that, well, then I can't help you.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go, just want to say hello to Leah. It was awesome yesterday. I hope you'll be watching today from Germany. Unless if you've left Germany, but I don't think you have. And yeah, look, guys, everyone, thank you very much for your support. This will be the last one. All you need to do now is go celebrate. We'll probably have one on Monday
Yeah,
afternoon, and
yeah,
then we'll see where we go from there. But enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, enjoy Father's Day. Yeah, when that test maze goes up and that confetti goes up, it's going to be glorious. But thank you very much for your support. Remember to do everything on the socials, like, subscribe on YouTube, follow us at Full Quarter Pod. We're going to be trying to send you as much content today as possible. I want to get a little piece of the confetti, keep it in a box, that type of vibe. And hopefully, maybe they let me touch the test mace. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. But it's been awesome. It's been and Tim, thank you very much for doing this early in the morning. And yeah, it's good. It's really really good. And from ourselves here at the Full Quarter Pod, it's goodbye and lesale kakahiso.